Hi traders, welcome to a new part of this series where I am showing you how to code EAs with ChatGPT, Cloud, DeepSeek, basically any kind of AI that can code, which most of them, I think at this point, most of them can code in some degree. So what we are looking at now is something very, very interesting, and that is more than 5 weeks of live trading with the gold trader. Actually, it is not just a gold trader technically, but right now I am only trading gold with it, and we are developing it for gold, because I realized that in the past when I was making videos like this, I didn't really, I never finished a series, and I never continued it, after like 3 parts, and it was also because it was a major part that I was trying to show too much, and not in quality of the algorithm or these things, but I wanted to show off like live trading with multiple pairs, like 10 pairs, and developing it at once for 10 pairs, and it was just a mess. And now when I started this series, I was like, the markets are tough enough now. I don't want to do that over and over again when I am not continuing a series. I want to show you some amazing things that you are going to never see again on YouTube, because most developers are not showing you these things. This is just the truth. So as you can see, in 5 weeks, and I am not bragging. I didn't even know how it is going to do. Most of the time when I am showing this and showing the chart, it is when it has a downward period, and it is because we are learning most from the downward periods. Of course, we are learning from the upsides, like the periods where the EA is gaining the most as well, but I intentionally didn't show it here because it is like, what is the point? We know it is working, we know it is kind of a successful idea for a strategy, but we have to know how an algorithm reacts when there is a real situation, like a real bad market. And now the market is insanely bad. I can't even tell you how bad it is. The gold trading with algorithms now, it is the worst in at least 10 months or more. It is insane. So compared to that, we only had around 10% of drawdown, which is great because we have 170% win, like a profit. So compared to that, it's great. Let's see some trades. Let's see some potential improvement ideas, and the reason why I am looking like that I am recording this in the middle of the night somewhere outside is because I am in the jungle, where many times highly poisonous snakes are wandering around, but the weather is great outside now, no mosquitoes, nothing like that. So I just love it. I just love to hang around here in the middle of the jungle at night and wait for the snakes and make some videos. So let's continue. Sorry for the interruption. We had a trade here, that was a full stop loss. That's okay, sometimes it happens, but we have two stop losses here. And this is just in one day we had 3 stop losses. Now, it is not a huge deal, as you can see from the whole chart, because we had such a great run before that. But if you would start with the EA here, you would say to me, man, this EA is not working. And for some reason, many times when people are starting with an EA, it happens. Like, I don't know if it's my luck, but many times when, let's say 10 traders are buying an EA, this happens, this kind of consolidation period. And I am always like, why now? But, you know, it is maybe a teaching, like a lesson from above, because this is completely normal. This is completely normal. If you have a real EA that is working, it is not going to look like a straight curve, because a straight curve is bullshit. A straight curve doesn't mean anything. It usually means that you don't have a stop loss. We have a stop loss here on every trade, so we are quite safe actually. So these are just some things that I wanted to tell you. Let's see some statistics, because honestly, I am not looking at the charts all day. I am working on codes, data, analyzing stuff. So very rarely I am looking at trades at this point, because I am trusting my algorithms, and this trust gave me the profitability, because before that I was always looking at my charts. Even with EA trading, it just killed my gains after all, because you start to micromanage things. You know how it works. So around weekly, 2 times I'm looking at the charts, some trades, that's all. Profit trades is 70%, almost 200 trades in just 5 weeks. That's something. And the best trade is still higher than the worst trade. Of course, we have a stop loss, so that's great. What is interesting is the maximal consecutive wins, which is 15, and the maximum consecutive losses, which is 3 trades. Now that is something, and the sum of this is almost 200, while it is just 60. So definitely this algorithm is working live. It is doing something right. As you can see, many of the other gold traders and stuff, now they are having a very hard time, despite the fact that they were doing amazing for months and months. But it is just part of trading. You know, like my main gold trader is still at 80%, which is in less than a year, is still amazing. So I am not going to complain, but this these days hit it really hard. So it is just how it is. I am continue to, you know, improving everything. All my EAs, I am working on them so much now in the middle of the jungle, like the powerful price action EA, Viking, Apex, the ATG, the index trader. If you have questions about them, hit me up on Telegram or email, or, you know, anywhere. So let's start, because it is already 10 minutes. But it is important to take a look at all the trades, statistics. It is important. So in this video, as I promised last time, and I am keeping my promises, at least I am really trying, even if I have some huge workload that I have to do. And since these videos are completely free, sometimes I have to prioritize my coding works, but I am really enthusiastic about this series, and you might see it from the fact that it is now the 13th part of this series in just a few weeks. So I'm doing my best. You know, sometimes I did I made a video every day, so it is my passion project as well. Now, what we have today is very exciting. That is the reverse ATR based trailing stop, because as I said last time, many traders don't know anything about, first of all, the ATR stop loss. If you are watching this series, you know many things about the ATR stop loss, and one of the reasons why this algorithm is doing so good is because of the ATR-based trailing stop and trailing stop loss. Trailing stops. I don't know. It is a strange name. I think I would rename it if I could. But it is just a following stop that is following your trade in the positive territory, and it is based on the recent volatility. So you have a better, like the EA understands the market better than with a regular trading. And if the market is going down again, for example, if you are in a long trade and you are in profit, it's going to close your trade at a positive, and it is not going to let your trade to go back to the negative again. The EA is also using break-even. You know, I am not going to explain everything again. Take a look at all the videos and you are going to see, but the ATR-based trailing stop is a very important part. Now, what you might never heard of in your life is a reverse trailing stop. And it is not just going to be a reverse trailing stop, but a reverse ATR-based trailing stop, which is going to follow the trade into the negative territory, which is a very, very effective way to combat losses, and especially not the amount of losses, because it might be more than without it. Hear me out, you know. Listen to me. It sounds weird, but for example, you would have which one you would have like more? One loss that is like a full stop loss, that is let's say $100, or three stops by the ATR-based trailing to the negative direction, which are all like $3, which is $9. You would have the 3 losses instead of the 1 loss, because the 1 loss is $100 and 3 losses, which are not that big, they are just $9 total. It is just an example, but this is how it works. And usually when you add this to your strategy, you are going to have a much more balanced risk to reward ratio, a much better one, because sometimes the market is just not going to go back to the positive territory. And first, you are going to lose time while you are waiting for it to go back. And second, you are going to just hit the stop loss after a while. And what the trailing does is that it follows your trade to the negative territory. And it is when the market is going back up, for example, in a long trade, it is going to just close it at a negative, but a much smaller negative than with the stop loss, for example. I hope you understand it. I think you do. And if you understand trading, you understand the reverse trading as well. It is just that most people, they don't want to close the trade before the stop loss, because they are hoping that the trade, and many times they are 100% like convinced that the trade is going to go back to positive. And it is also the reason why most traders are losing in the markets, because, and I know this for a fact, most traders, and it is like 70%, they are moving their stop losses when the market is going against them. They are moving it even to like 80% drawdown, something like that, some crazy things. This is just the lack of discipline. If you're a beginner, it is okay. You are going to have your rounds with this because most traders, you don't have the emotional, psychological robustness for trading. It is one of the hardest jobs in the world, psychologically. It's crazy. So you have to build it up. So I am not, I'm not saying you should know all these things when you are starting out. It's crazy hard. But if you watch this video and you are a beginner, I think you should be able to learn some things. Let's start. I already saved the code, like copied it. So we go to ChatGPT. I am using the O4 mini high. You can use any model you want. You can use different AI as well. So we pasted it here, and I just wrote it beforehand because I am like, why I'm writing this here? So I'm a little bit tired today. I worked hard today. So basically what I said, let's just see. I have a code. You coded it for MT5 as an EA. I would like to add a new feature, just like the ATR-based trading stop, which is in the EA, but to the other direction. So it trails after a trade reached X% of the stop loss. And this indicates that I want ChatGPT, the AI, to add a parameter that we can tell after how much percent of the stop loss the trailing should be able to activate itself, or rather the EA, the system, the code, the algorithm can activate the trailing. And it is very important because otherwise you are going to mess around with this pips based stuff, and that is actually not great, because then when you are trading with a different instrument other than gold, you want to trade with Euro USD, silver, indices. The problem is that you have to in the parameters, when you have 100 parameters, you don't want to always retell the EA exactly and calculate yourself what kind of pips it should use. This is the reason why we are going to switch from pips based calculations to ATR based calculations on all of our money management as well, like stop loss, take profit, dynamic exits in the next videos. With that, you are going to have a very powerful system that is actually going to be able to trade all the instruments without the danger of, for example, trading with 20 pips, take profit on gold and losing all your money because it's just too little amount of pips for gold. Therefore it's just bam 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 bam, it is just going to hit stop loss, because if the stop loss is 20 pips as well, for example, it is just too low of an amount, it is just it is destroying your account. So I don't know if many of you experience this. If you are a coder, if you are a developer, you are trying new stuff, you definitely did. If not, it's okay, but ATR-based calculations are the best. Okay, so it's fair enough, I think. One more thing I would add, because many times it just forgets to add the NG logic. And since it is a coding tutorial series where ChatGPT should code and not you, it should give us the full code, and sometimes I am like arguing with it, like, please, I have a YouTube series where I want to show viewers to that you can code the entire system, and it is like, nah, I am consuming too much water like a plant. Okay. Focus. So don't forget to include the entry logic, because it is calling it logic, which is logical. Logic as, no, I can't write today. This is why I wrote it. Yeah, I was working, I don't know how many hours today, crazy amount. What is this? No, why? Okay, it's all good, it's all good, no issues. Let's see how it is thinking, just like me or not. Yeah, with some examples, superior, very good. Some of you told in the comments, I don't know where, to put this algorithm up to MQL5 as well, which I'm going to do. I think after this video with this update, because it is already quite interesting, but I wanted to really just sort, how would I say it, like the parameters, the inputs, to be a little bit even more understandable and separated from each other, because now it is just kind of messy. If you take a look at it, I am going to show you. Wow, it is understanding the new take profit logic. It is taking the time, but if it is going to let's hope, because many times just giving us the code snippet to paste, and it's all right if it would have been a, you know, a series that is called coding with snippets by ChatGPT, by inserting them, but it is not that. So that's all. It's a different series, and I told it that, but it's just it's not listening. So it's just how it is. Okay, now it started to code finally. Maybe I'm going to have a battle with it again, but maybe not. Oh, it will be so great. It will be so great if it would just give us the code, everything, and I could just show you some stuff. I think I'm going to take a break here to eat some cookie, and then continue, just pausing a little bit. Alright, now fortunately we don't have to battle with it, because it just gave us the new code which we are going to compile. Let's see. Okay, I am a little bit tired now to make it fix all the errors, but of course it is a YouTube video for the series, so I'm going to do it if it's needed. But fortunately we are going to, I am going to show it here. If we have all the parameters, let's see. Now I think my head is not great here. I'm going to just put it exactly there. Okay, so we have the break even. After that we have the ATR trailing, which is measuring the TP% and activates trading after 10% reached. It's good. Where, oh yeah, and we have our negative territory ATR-based trading stop. Cool. Both are at 10% at the moment, but we are going to run a test. Let's see how it is doing with these. Oh, they were set to true even. Yeah. Ooh, we have a quite high amount of trades as expected, because you know, we are using trailings that are activated after 10%, so it is completely logical that we have quite a high amount of trades, but not that crazy actually. And the profit, I want to run it with a little bit higher risk, because it is like you don't even see what is happening here. Okay, let's run test again, see what kind of profit we have. Oh, okay, this, I think maybe we have, it is too high amount. Oh, sorry, I was coding all day and I was using a percent-based lot, which we can. Let's use an equity-based, and 1%, that's 3%. So, and I was mistaking it. I was thinking it is the maximum lot, because I was using I was coding a different TA through the day. It's crazy. Don't take anything away from this. It is crazy how it looks like. It is not even a real chart at this point, but it just demonstrates how dangerous a strategy can be, even though you have seen how it is trading live. But if you are using a high amount of percentage with a high amount of maximum lot size, it is going to go crazy. Like, Jesus. Let's just use a kind of a different maximum lot size, because we want to have a little bit less crazy result. It can be great, like it is great, because then we see the, okay, that is good, but as I said, we can see the weaknesses more if we are it is, for me, it is kind of a robustness testing, to test with a high amount of risk, but it is not logical to use that. So we have over 300% gain and around 50% drawdown. Okay, it's interesting. But of course, we can use a ton of settings now to adjust, which can take us to paradise. And I'm going to update the code in Gumroad, on Gumroad, and I'm going to add the new set files as well, so you can check it out. It is a great package at this point, because there is like, I think, 15 set files that are included in the package, all from the videos, and plus some additional ones that you can try out on demo, live account, testing, that you can base your own set file creation on. So yeah, it starts to be a very valuable package deal. Let's see what I want to, first of all, I want to just consolidate a little bit to a little bit nuanced version, and let's see how our trading is going to change. I adjusted the percentages, the activation percentages, to 50. We should have less trades, and if we have less trades, everything is working fine. We have much less trades, which is interesting, because I don't know if you remember all the numbers as I do, because I'm a crazy person. But we had around 50% here. We had, you know, the 37 37,000 here, around 37. Sorry if I am mistaking some numbers. Usually I don't do that. But here we had 512. Usually I don't do that, but I might be doing it today because I was coding and testing for straight like insane amount of hours, and I have done more than 200 testings and data, and the numbers in my head are in the millions. This is crazy. So let's focus. Now, what we can say, we have more profit, definitely, but we have more drawdown as well. Let's just, it is very interesting because it is another topic, but many traders think that if you have more trades, you have more profit. Not the case. We have around, half of the trades, but we have more profit, and I think it is more stable. It is much more stable this way, let's be honest. So usually when you are using a trading stop, it is very advisable to use kind of a higher amount of percent or pips as a starting point, because if you don't do that, all of your dynamic exit strategies are going to the trash. Why? Because the ATR-based trading is going to close out your trades so early that it doesn't make sense. So even, let's say, what if we do a 70%? Even a 70% one is going to work. Maybe better, maybe with less drawdown. It is not the perfect set file, as you can see, because we are what we are doing here is a real trading, not some flashy, like beautiful, curvy trading bullshit that I want to sell to you that is looking perfect, but when you put it to live, it is awful. And now I have to say it again, as you have seen, because I don't want to receive a comment like I bought the package and it was going down. Yeah, I admit, if you bought it here, so 3-4 days ago, it is not a good period. It is not a great period, but it is still manageable. Like, as you can see, there are some good trades, bad trades, these kind of things. And if you bought it here, until here, it was as well. But if you waited long enough, it had an amazing period, it made 50%. So just be a little bit patient, okay? Because the same here. And I am running this, oh man, it is not working, and it's like, first of all, I didn't say it is a perfect EA that I am selling as a perfect EA. I am not selling any EAs as perfect EAs. I am not saying that I know the future, because I don't. What we can do is money management is the key element. Single entry trading is also a key element. There are some aspects that we can do scientifically that are going to add to the safety of a system. For example, using the correct lot size or percentage and maximum lot sizing with the features, that is also important. There are things that we can limit the losses, and we can achieve profits when the algorithm is actually doing amazing. This is what we can do. I'm explaining these things because I think if you are starting out, if you start to develop your own strategies, your EAs, it is some stuff that I would have killed for if it was not available when I started. It was not a thing. These tips and tricks, I had to learn it all. And I watched a lot of videos and other mediums, but some wacky information, some great as well, some very good informations as well. But most of them were bullshit. Okay, so what we have here is interesting because we have less profit, we have a little bit less showdown, but much less profit. So what it is telling us? It is telling us that for this particular set file, the perfect amount is somewhere between 50 and 70%. So for example, 60%. And one other thing, you don't only have the percentage based percentage parameter, you have all the, like, you have the multiplier and the period as well that I intentionally coded into the EA ChatGPT, so that is important as well. But I am very curious better because here, and I know these are not major changes, but I want to show you how much every parameter in a robot can really improve the overall trading experience. For example, here we have around the same amount of trades, but we have more profit and we have less drawdown, considerably less, because 5% less drawdown compared to the 61% is great. And we have, so we elevated it, because even if we have the same amount of profit, we have less drawdown, which is animals here in the jungle at night with my lights on. Sometimes, man. Okay, let's see some optimization. Let's see, shall we? No, I know some English. Yes, sorry. I am in a funny mood. Let's do it with some cloud optimization. It costs a lot of money, but who cares? The series is more important than money. This is the key. Oh, sorry, before we start, I want to show you something. I want to adjust the multiplier from 1 to 3 with 0.5 range, and the multiplier 5 to 4. Okay, let's do 4. You know what, let's do 4. So let's start. I don't want it to be different. I don't want it to be different. I want them to be the same. Yeah, 80%. I think it's good. 10. Let's 10. Okay. So now we are doing some optimization on the ATR-based trading and on some other stuff as well, and see if we can find a much better result than this with a lower drawdown. We might not, but we might do. And I'm going to also include that in the package, in the set file package. And one other thing I wanted to tell you is that, this is very important, is that I'm going to make a whole series of videos about anti-curve fitting methods, technologies, because the reason why the EA on live is doing good overall in weeks, it is not because it is the most complex strategy. It is not. It is because of two things. The first is because of all the dynamic exits. The dynamic exits that are hard-coded by the strategies. The dynamic exits with the ATRs, the break-even. It is 50%. The other thing is because we are not doing it for the looks. We are doing it for performance. That is why these charts are not looking perfect at all. Because perfect looking charts many times are bullshit. Not every time, I would add. statistically it is not the case. You can have a beautiful chart and it is working live, but you know, many times it's not the case, especially with martingale grid and all this kind of bullshit. Okay, so we have around 1.5 x more profit and less than half drawdown, which is great. Which is also one thing that I am so happy to see, is that we have a little bit more short trades. What I don't like is this period here, because it means that it was not working in this last last week or so, and I want the set file that I am uploading to the Gumroad package, I want it to work on that as well. So what we are going to do is we are going to see the complex criterion max version, which is basically, if you haven't watched the other ones, it is basically a version that is combining the Sharpe ratio, recovery factor, profit factor into the best possible parameter set. So it is finding the best possible. It is funny because it is still not great in this section. So we might have to do some stricter optimization, maybe. This is kind of strange. Also, if you like this video series, I'm putting a huge amount of effort into it. Like the video, share it. I know, buy the package. Comment as well if you want. Subscribe to the channel, all this kind of stuff. We have a bunch of parameters. Wow, 2000 trades. Let's see that. No, not this one. Okay, you can see this one as well. I don't like it. No. I just want, for fun, I just want to see one with 2000 trades. I think it is going to use a low amount. It is better in this period than how it is. What are the statistics? Okay, 40,000, 20 and 2000 trades. It's crazy. I think I'm going to save it. These kind of sets, many times you see it and it's not good. It is not bad. Many times I am surprised when I am putting it live and it is really doing great in some periods, and in some periods it is not doing so good, but in the periods when it is doing good, it is doing twice as good as it is doing bad in the bad periods, if you understand what I mean. But I'm going to do another optimization as well, because it is fun. Let's see how much we spent. Okay, it was not a huge, but it is not showing. Okay, I want to check something. Okay, we have the entry rules, and we have the ADX threshold that I want to see above 20, and the range is going to be 20 to 40. RSI, that is kind of bullshit. Let's give it from 40 to 70, and from this is going to be interesting. In one video I'm going to explain that, I promise. Wow, okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. And it is great that we have some markets like this, some crazy markets that we are having now, because this way we can really see what are the sets, what are the strategies, what are the dynamic exit functions that are actually working in real tough markets. That is great, because in other markets they are going to be so good. it's going to be easy for them. It's not statistically, it's not always the truth, because if you over-optimize your EA to a certain market, then it is not the truth. But based on mathematics and data analysis, there is a perfect amount of optimization period for many reasons, but one of the reasons is to avoid curve fitting. And that is, believe it or not, I think you are not going to believe it, but it is the truth. Look up studies and some probability analysis. So it is, you can't really optimize your strategies for more than 5 years. There are some cases, some special cases with some special strategies, but in general, with EAs, there is a rule. If you optimize and test, testing doesn't even matter, but if you optimize your EAs for more than 3 to 5 years, you are going to curve fit it. And not just curve fit it, it is just one aspect. You are going to most likely cause an effect where your EA is going to be adapted to situations that are no longer existing, and it is going to react to current markets at times, in some cases many times, as if it would have reacted 20 years ago or 10 years ago, which is not great, because the markets are changing now rapidly. Like, they are changing year by year and even lower periods. So your EA needs to do great in the recent periods in testing, and it is not bad if you try to test it in different periods, but it doesn't make any sense at this point, because 20 years ago we barely had like any type, how should I say it? 20 years ago, the whole industry of trading robots, of AI systems, was so different. And the amount of people who were trading all the things, and I am not even talking about what is going to happen with quantum computers, but it's so different now, the whole market structure, that it doesn't make any sense to trade like it's 20 years ago. That doesn't make sense. Wow, that is a chart. I quite like it for some reason. Well, the reason is it has a great profit and a quite low drawdown compared to the profit. It has an insane amount of trades, but it is how many years? Yeah, it is a couple of years, so it's alright. I think I'm going to save it and upload it so you can further work on it. If you want, you can tweak all the parameters. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and all this kind of stuff that I told you a few minutes ago. I know, don't tell me that you don't want to see my face anymore in these videos, because it would break my heart. But also you can say it, because it is also fine to do the videos without face. It's completely random. I hope it was useful for you. If you want to know more about this whole dynamic exit situation, ATRs and trading stops, if you want a whole video from me to make about ATR as an indicator for this series, show its equation, everything, let me know. I can do that as well. Ciao.